Okay, so we're hanging out in Sacramento. We went to Scorpio, our favorite coffee shop, grabbed a coffee, and we're walking around the Capitol, and I saw this place called Bot Bar Coffee. And when I was in New York a couple weeks ago, I saw this coffee shop that had a robot in it that would make the coffee. And honestly, it's not a bad idea because making coffee is just, I mean, you're just pouring the water over the coffee. I mean, like, there's some things that maybe a human has to do, make sure it's fresh, kind of do some maintenance type stuff, but it can really be automated. And it's kind of scary to think that this place is already doing it. And what's even more interesting is they have this subscription. You get fresh cup of coffee every day for $49 a month. Have you gotten this yet? No. Scary, huh? But anyways, I don't think this is the last time we're gonna see things like this. And I just thought that was interesting because I know when I get older, this is gonna be pretty common. Robots are gonna be making lots of things. I wish we can go in there and see the little guy at work, but there's a subscription. You don't even have to pay for your coffee. You go in, maybe there's one person manning it, maybe not, I don't even know. Probably though, probably one person for now. But you just go in and get a coffee from a robot. So many things are gonna be like that someday. So I just kind of wanted to document this. Let me know what you think. I think the coffee can be made well. Probably, I don't know. They're probably not using great beans in the first place, so who knows if it will be. I don't know. I like having a person make my coffee, but gosh, that is that a boomer take at this point? I don't know. What do you think, Paige?
I don't think it's gonna be good.
Paige doesn't think it's gonna be good. She doesn't like it. She doesn't want to be in the video. But yeah, I thought that was an interesting thing. I wanted to document it. So yeah, if you want to see a coffee robot, it's down here in Sacramento. They have one in Oakland, it looks like, and in New York. The one I saw in New York is a different one, but apparently they have the same one in New York as well. These will be coming to a city near you, putting people out of work and making mediocre coffee. Okay, so we came back and I thought it'd be interesting to look at the reviews for this place. So it looks like we got a lot of two-star reviews. That's interesting. So people maybe are unsatisfied with it to an extent, but they're not giving it a 1 star. Let's see some of these two-star reviews. Bot Bar Coffee was not as expected and left me disappointed. The staff had trouble with the bot and took it 3 times to make an Americano. The bot kept saying American failed. It flung its arm around crashing into the coffee machine. That's funny. Well, that will be worked out though, I'm sure. Like, yeah, it's getting a 2 star because the bot didn't work, but it doesn't seem like they're super upset with, the fact that a robot's making their coffee. I'm sure it will be fixed at some point. I'm sure, in 5, 10 years, it's not going to malfunction as much. The robot barista is the whole reason you walk in the door, and honestly, the only reason. The staff can be super friendly. Okay, so there is staff. But it's DIY unless you wave someone down. Bopar is serving figure it out human vibes. Yeah, well, that makes sense. It's going to be really, like I said, it's going to be cheap to have a cup of coffee. I mean, $50 for a whole month's worth of coffee. You're going to have to cut costs, and you're going to not probably have so many people working, right? But yeah, it says that the latte tasted like a melted dessert menu. That's interesting that they are making like latte drinks. I thought, just be kind of more of a pour over thing, like I saw in New York. The coffee I had in New York was a pour over, and I would say it was probably like, I mean, I don't know, a 7 out of 10 or something. Like it was absolutely like passable. There are like tiny motions when I'm making my own like pour over where it's like the human, like technique of like really being like precise, like does make a difference, I think. But like I said, in 5 years, like the robots are going to be able to do that too. They're going to be able to make precise movements. Um, you know, the customer service thing that's the thing. It's like people come into coffee shops a lot of the times, for community. And the barista will know your order, people by name, it's just it's kind of like this communal event that you maybe get to have before maybe you go off to work, right? And this is like sucking that out of it, so I think just like fundamentally, like I really dislike that. But on the other hand, sometimes I go into coffee shops and the service is horrible and it's not friendly vibes. And it's just like maybe sometimes I would rather a robot get my coffee. I hate to admit it. So I think it's viable. I think this is going to happen, but I do think there'll always be a place for coffee shops that have a good community, that have good people that are working there, and have just a fostered community. But interesting stuff. Yeah, let me know what you think. Will you guys never make a coffee? Will you never purchase a coffee if it's made by a robot, or are you down to go check it out? Let me know in the comments. See you guys later.